I see our emote has arrived. Preach Horror is here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, 26 clash with FanFest. I will organize it so it doesn't clash with FanFest. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Look, if we do the annual event and it's like this, it's just not going to be as good. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. We will have something. We will have something. I'll let you know. I am not a clown. I am not a clown. Where do we even start? For those of you who couldn't attend and those of you who didn't understand what happened behind.
For 2025, kinda sad but classic clown mode.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Alright, fuck off.
B is for brilliant.
Scuffed Ross reporting for duty.
Ross reporting for duty. Apologies about the cursed emotes, GCAC.
Yeah, well, obviously, there is some questions because people are not sure where this cursed emote came from. It came from Jordan's arsehole. Literally. Literally. It came from Jordan's arsehole. She had the image printed directly onto her butt because I'm always talking shit was her point that she made onto this. It was directly linked to Jordan's butthole because I'm always talking shit. And obviously, now you know a bit of lore as to that. A bit of lore as to where that picture came from.
The difference between red and yellow balls yet, you fucking clown?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Obviously, now everybody is aware who our special secret guests were for this year's PreachCon. We did, of course, have Mr. Josh Strife Hayes, who came and took to the stage in an interesting section.
Just to become an emote. I did, however, get to sign the plate behind you, no VIP.
Yes, you did. No VIP for you. We had Josh Strife Hayes. We, of course, had Mr. Roger Brown himself, who turned up with just a few days before the War Within launch. And, of course, the big surprise, our good lady Zeppler. Our good lady Zeppler made it all the way from Florida to the event. And is now, I can tell you, a full Warhammer fan. I spoke to her this morning. She is dialed in to the Warhammer universe, my friends. She is dialed in to the Warhammer universe. To the point of frustration, but I'll get there. She's lost. She's lost. She is now fully dialed in. She spent like 3 hours painting that. She did. She spent like 3 hours fucking painting that.
Did something happen last the week? I only went to the circus and the clown was shit. He couldn't even juggle 2 balls.
Do we want to start with the story of Zeppler? Do we want to start with the story of Zeppler? Would you like to know the full story of Zeppler? Would you like to know? Would you like to know the full tale of our Zeppler? It's a tale that...
my man. Glad you had a successful PreachCon.
We did. We did. We had a very successful PreachCon. Okay. Let me regale you with the tale of Zeppler. So when we invite people to PreachCon, we have people we're pretty confident are going to come, and then we have like the YOLO plays.
I'll make you
right?
mine.
Would be awesome. Let me mute TTS for a hot second, alright? Not that I don't appreciate you guys, obviously. We have some YOLO plays. Like, we would love it if they were there, but probably not going to make it. So, in an interesting twist, every single person I asked to come to PreachCon accepted. Every single person. Then they announced the War Within. So, interestingly enough, when I messaged Zeppler, she immediately responded with, yes, absolutely, I will be there. There was less than 20 seconds between the response. And I was like, okay, sure. There was literally like less than 20 seconds between me typing the message to her and her responding. And I was like, okay. The same with Roger Brown. And then they announced the War Within. My first dipper of the event was Nagura. Nagura was the other secret guest. And I will say this for both the people who did dip, is they were overwhelmingly excited to come to the event. They were super happy. Nagura was bringing her partner. was like, can I do this? Can I do all that kind of stuff? And it was a whole big thing, right? It was a whole big thing. She couldn't wait. And then they announced the War Within, and she was like, I need to be streaming. Wow. I can't take the time off. To which I responded to Nagura, Roger Brown's coming, and you're telling me you can't make it. Lol at you, right? Lol at you. She just ignored me off the back of it. And then she beat me at cards, so it was okay. It was okay. And then, of course, the second one was Annie. Annie was also overwhelmingly excited to come. She was super hyped for it. She was talking about it. She's getting a t-shirt made, the whole thing. And then she had anxiety about the travel, so that was fine. But I will say this. We didn't hear from Zeppler or Roger Brown up until, like, 6 days before PreachCon. And I was starting to get a little concerned here. I'm like, We haven't heard anything. Then, out of absolutely nowhere, Roger Brown requests his t-shirt. I'm like, huh. Of all the people I definitely thought weren't coming at this point, it would have been Roger Brown, right? Because he's obviously got the Race to World First coming. Then, Zeppler sends me her flight information. I'm like, okay. Okay. We have flight info. Zeppler's coming. I was shocked and stunned. Now, it begins, my friends. People started arriving for PreachCon, which I will remind you starts on Wednesday. On Sunday. On Sunday, a good 50 or so people had arrived, and we're already dominating the venue and sat outside and doing all that. Sunday team, yeah. So we had quite a few people here on Sunday. Like 6 or so people are getting on with stuff and doing things. Yeah, Shalana and Enos were here. They were help finishing the diorama. We had Brackers here and stuff like that. And we're all doing stuff. As I'm walking between here and here, my phone goes. No, I'm getting this wrong. Sorry. Let me be clear on this. No, this was Tuesday. So Tuesday, we're doing... Yes, it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. We're doing final preparations here at the office. It was Tuesday. PreachCon is on Wednesday. Right? PreachCon is on Wednesday. It was on Tuesday. I'm going to read this word for word. It's Tuesday afternoon. 12:09 p.m. Tuesday. From Zeppler. Mike, I have a sore throat. It started last night and I was hoping it would get better. Unfortunately, it seems to be getting worse. Now I've got a runny nose and ear pain. We're on the way to the airport, which is a few hours away, even though this is pretty much copium at this point. My face, as you can imagine, my face, I was like, motherfucker, get on that fucking plane. There was a part of me that was like, motherfucker, get on that plane. Motherfucker, get on that fucking plane. And I was like, God damn it. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck's sake, she's not well, whatever. But then she confirms I've left Florida. Now my first questions, because Zepp lives in Florida, I'm like, wait. What do you mean you've left Florida? So now I'm like full of confusion. I'm like, why have you left Florida? What's going on? She then sends me confirmation that she has, in fact, for some reason, is in a car, right? Which I expect, but she's left Florida. I got this picture. Now leaving Florida. Right? I'm like, what is going on? Classic Zeppler did not book her flight until like a day before she was taking it. So she had to book a flight out of Houston, Texas, which is 8 hours away from where she lives. So, it's already beginning, right? It's already beginning. So I'm like, I call her directly. I just called her on the phone. I'm like, what's going on? I genuinely got a call that did, to me, it sounded like a teenager trying to get out of work. It was like, hello? Hi, Mike. I'm not well. I'm like, are you okay? What's happening, right? what's happening? And she says, I'm getting ill, and it might be COVID. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I said, have you taken any medication? She says, no. I wanted to monitor it and see how it's going on. I'm like, okay. So I said, take some flu medicine or go and get a COVID test. Now, I will say this. I'm looking at this through British eyes. I can get a COVID test across the road in about 30 seconds. Right? It's not a problem. I can get a COVID test anywhere in this country within less than 15 minutes. Not a problem whatsoever. Apparently, in USA, not quite a thing. Not quite a thing. So what happens next? We talk. She says she's going to get checked. She ends up in the fucking hospital walk-in center. I get this picture. She's in like a fucking gown now. And she's in some medical institution. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Haven't you got a flight to make? I'm like, what is happening here? This is blowing my mind as like an English guy, because obviously one of the things we've all had to get used to is that not every cold is COVID. So I'm like, now you're in the fucking hospital or some shit? Like, what is happening here along this way? So part of me is thinking there's like 0% chance. However, we send her a video. Me and Nobble are driving to pick up everybody's t-shirts. I can't remember what we said in this video. Hold on, let me mute you guys for a second. In case this video is abusive. I might have sent her an abusive video. Okay, it's not offensive. Alright, we're okay. We're okay, it's not offensive. So I then send her this video. How do we know that's your legs?
Curious that.
So we send her a little video, just trying to cheer her up. A little fun video from me and Nobble. Me and Nobble are the ones who went and got your t-shirts, right? So we had to drive and pick them up along the merry way. I then get a message 40 minutes later. It's not COVID. I'm on my way. At this point, I'm thinking there's like 5% chance we're seeing Zeppler. It's not happening. You know what I mean? 5%. I then get another message where she sent me this documentation she's British. She's not got COVID. She's on her way. So I say, see you soon. Now, part 2. I had a party at my house. There's no pictures of it because we had one of the guests there and stuff. There's no pictures. So I had a little party at my house for about 40 or so people. And at this party, like, we had Roger Brown there. We put Roger Brown in the most ghetto fucking Airbnb that exists in the world. But we had a little party at my house. My son, my 8-year-old son was working the bar. He got tipped 45 pounds from people. He bought a new headset with it. For those of you who tipped him, he bought himself a new headset and the new battle pass for Fortnite. He was making cocktails. He was doing everything. Yeah, he was doing all kinds of stuff. He had a little tip jar. Yes, well spent. Yeah, that's what he did. He bought a headset that he prefers because it's now better than his older brother's, and his older brother is now pissed and felt that he deserved half the tips. Emma said no. But Zeppler is arriving, according to her flight information, at 9:40 the next day. Right? 9:40 a.m. So I have a word with Brackers. I'm like, Brackers, can you do us a favor? Because I'm kind of concerned that she's going to walk off this plane. She's driven 8 hours to get to Houston from Florida. She's then flying from Houston to the UK. She's going to be exhausted and tired. I'm kind of worried she's going to get in a taxi and end up in Birmingham or something. So I was like, could you pick her up at the airport, right? Can you pick her up at the airport? I'm like, all right, okay. Brackers says absolutely no problem, right? Absolutely no issue. Awesome. We've got it sorted. He's going to bring her to the office. Okay. Brackers, like an absolute gentleman, checks the flight information and finds out that Zeppler is going to land 30 minutes early. She's going to land at 9:10 a.m. So Brackers gets to the airport really early so he can make sure he doesn't miss her. She's probably only got a backpack and no big luggage. Brackers is all over it. He's in the airport. He's ready to pick her up. He's at the right terminal. He's all over it. Then he texts me. Now, I can't word for word this because this process that I'm about to explain to you lasted 2 fucking hours, right, of stress and nightmares. But I want to be absolutely clear before I get into this. Absolutely nothing here is Zeppler's fault at all. It was just me and Brackers losing our fucking minds, and Zeppler was fine. We'll get there. Brackers sends me a picture of the board. She's landed. She's here early. All good. She's landed. 40 minutes later, Brackers sends me another message saying, I can't see her. I've started to get worried. I'm like, she did make the flight. She would have texted me if she wasn't on the flight, right? Another half hour goes by. People are piling out. Brackers is now so concerned that I suggest you start asking people coming out, were they on the Houston flight? Which he then does. And then he starts reporting back that this was an Amsterdam flight. This was this flight. And then the board starts changing to say whether these flights that have landed after Zepplers have completed baggage. And then not every one of them is completed except for Zepplers, right? That still says in progress. But flights that have landed way after Zeppler are now fully completed. So we're like, what the fuck is going on? So then we start doing like some Sherlock Holmes theory work. In the UK, or in fact, in most airports now, this happens to us in Germany, if they're at capacity and you land early, you're still fucked because they're at capacity and you just can't, like, rock up. It's not like they've got spare parking spots. It's all booked. So you just kind of have to chill on the tarmac. If you land 30 minutes early, there's not just, like, an empty parking space for your plane. So you have to wait for the other plane to go. So we're like, oh, I bet she landed, but there was nowhere for her to park. So they're just having to wait. This happens quite a lot now at major airports. So we're chilling. Then the board changes from flight landed at 9:10 to flight landed at 10:15. They just changed the time of the flight landing. So it's now been like well over an hour and stuff. And we don't know what the fuck is going on whatsoever. And we're like, well, she must be on the Wi-Fi, right? But we can't get hold of her in any way, shape, or form. But we're like, maybe her phone doesn't work in the UK because a lot of Americans don't have phones that work in Europe. So we're like, but she should be in the airport and on the Wi-Fi by now. So I'm like calling her, and nothing's coming through. Brackers has now been waiting, I think, Brackers for nearly 2 hours. Eventually, Zeppler just answers the phone. Hello? I'm like, where are you? She's like, passport control. I'll be out in a minute. 2 hours of us being completely fucking stressed out beyond all recognition. She's like, yeah, I'm just going through passport control. No worries. No worries. Everything's fine. And we were so panicked and stressed. But the poor girl, she got here to the studio. She comes in and she's just like, we just picked up Roger. So Roger walks in. Zeppler comes in. She gets on my chair that you've seen for like the Savage Race, the single chairs at the couch here, and she's just sat in the corner. And I went, it's a recliner, you know. So she goes, oh. So she reclines on it. She's asleep within about 3 seconds, fucking drooling in my office. She's like, totally dead to the world. So new operation. New operation. She was fucking just dead on the chair. She was just like bundled up in a ball, just fast asleep. So, the problem we have now, ladies and gentlemen, is we have to get Zeppler to her room at the hotel without any of you knowing. This was a 12-man operation. You guys didn't know it, but you were strategically, those of you who are at the venue, strategically maneuvered out of the venue to go on your pub crawl into Manchester to meet everybody else 10 minutes before Zeppler was to arrive at the hotel as we drove her in. Vanish, Mr. Jono, ushers people out as we snuck in the back. And I felt really bad because I drove Zeppler in and I was like, I'm really worried that people are going to see me. So Zeppler folded herself under the chair like this, all the way around the car park. Some of you motherfuckers had gone to McDonald's and were crossing the road with all your McDonald's as we pulled in. So I was like, Zeppler, you need to get down. You need to get down now. And I couldn't drive into the hotel. So I ended up driving into McDonald's car park, circling it, and I went, stay down, stay down. They're now coming out of the restaurant, the Ash Tree Farm. I had to, like, stay down. I swear to you, I'm not trolling you right now, but there's fucking people everywhere. And there were people all over the fucking place. I'm like, stay down. And she's like, okay, I'm fine, I'm fine. God bless her. God bless her. So she hid in the car. We drove around the back where there was a 7-man crew waiting for her. who then ran into the hotel, made a wall in front of the elevator, and then smuggled her in, like, really small. I think we had, like, two or three 6-foot guys walking in front of her while she was hiding behind to get her into a bedroom without a luggage. They literally ushered her out like it was the president arriving at the White House. They, like, ushered her out and ran her into the hotel, completely unseen. It worked perfectly. I then carried her luggage up to her room, said everything is going to be fine, and good night. However, we had to run through the show with her. So the way PreachCon worked, and we'll get to the pictures in a second, is that anybody we were really unsure of, like Zeppler and Roger, because they were like having to do some really cool shit to get there, right? And to go out of their way. It was awesome. I wrote that part of the show. You might be interested to know what I mean by that, but we'll get there in a second. So to make sure what was going on. But we had to run through the show with them. Both Roger and Zeppler have been strategically placed on the 4th floor of the hotel. Zeppler was in room 403, I think it was. So me, Nobble, and Raven, who were part of this section of PreachCon, arranged with her to sleep all day so she could rest, and then we would come up to her room at 4:45 or 5:45 and run through the show with her. Then we would go down the hall to Roger and run through the show with Roger. Okay. What I didn't account for was the great PreachCon underground beer smuggling operation that was taking place on the 4th floor. That is something I could not have accounted for, that there was a severe underground beer smuggling operation, and guess who was running it but the Germans. The Germans were running it. And guess which room they were doing it out of? Next door to Zeppler. So me, Nobble, and Raven, because Raven was a part of the show, go up to the 4th floor. We've arranged a time. And the 4th floor, for some bizarre reason, is very crowded. And now I'm there. So everybody who's walking past is like, hey, Preach, what's going on, man? Are you looking forward to the show? And I'm like, And then, I'm sorry of who I said this to, but at some point there was all these people there. And I just said, you guys really need to go. And they're like, why? And I'm like, I can't tell you, but you have to go away. And then I found out why they were all there. When Dennis came out of his room, it turns out that Jono, aka Vanish, had brought a mini fridge for Dennis. Dennis had set up an extra fridge in his bedroom, which was filled with beer. And people were just taking their empty glasses up to Dennis's room, which was next door to Zeppler, filling their drinks up with beer and then coming back downstairs with full glasses. And I will tell you this, I don't know how they got away with it. They never got caught a single time. Despite the fact all these people were going into the lift with empty glasses and coming back down with full glasses, they never got busted once for this fucking operation. They got away with it scot-free, some fucking how. But Dennis was manning the door for people coming for beer, and he's next door to Zeppler. So I'm like, Dennis, you need to go in your room. And he's looking at me like, what? I'm like, you really need to go in your room. And he's like, okay, I trust you. I'm like, yeah, go in there. So anyway, we go in with Zeppler. We're going to come back to this. And we run through the show. We're in there for about 15 minutes. We go through it. We're like, we want you to do this, this, and this, and this. And it's all going to be fine and dandy. And everyone's going to have a good time. But, you know, we need this to happen. And she's like, okay, how is this going to work? So we had a plan. The show would start at 7 p.m. And then at 7:15, somebody will come to your room to get you, to bring you into the, sneak you into the back. Then we went to Roger Brown's room. I want to say this about Roger Brown. He was so committed to the secrecy that I knocked on his door for 5 minutes and he refused to answer until I called him to say it was me outside. Because he wanted to absolutely make sure it was not like somebody randomly knocking on his door or, you know, getting the wrong room or something like that. I was, even though I was at the right time, I was knocking on the door for ages and we're just stood in the corridor. And he refused until we called him to open the door. And then he, like, sneakily poked his eyes around the corner to see who it was. He was like, okay. Went in. Roger was actually in a meeting with Echo at the time about the race to World First. And he's like, shh. And he mutes it. We go through the show with him and all good. All right, great. Now then, I want you to bear everything I've just said in mind. as we kind of go through what happened at PreachCon. All right, so we'll go through kind of like what happened on the show for those of you who've missed it, because you'll get a good idea of where this goes. But just bear in mind that we've been through all that stuff, all right? Official PreachCon Day 1, the gathering of the nerds. As you can see, the gathering had occurred and everybody was enjoying themselves. The sun was out, at least on show day. The sun was here and it was doing wonderful things. We were all very happy. People had turned up. We did get some rain at PreachCon, but it kept going like rain and then it was like red hot after a period of time. There's tons and tons and tons of pictures. I've got, these are like from John. We'll go through some other things. So yes, you can see it was nice. Everybody was ready. Now, it is known, if you've been to PreachCon before, that typically there's some sort of delay for some reason that we can't predict, right? It's all planned, it's all organized, but then something happens and I have to do something emergency-wise and delay it. This has become such a meme that the regulars of PreachCon have now built this into their schedule. To the point that when Roger Brown was asking when certain things would happen after the show, such as the cosplay competition, that every single person he asked, the cosplay competition was scheduled for 5 p.m., told him it would be at 5:30, so he just didn't bother coming down until 5:30 when he discovered that he'd missed it. Because every single person that he asked about it said, yeah, Mike tells us it's going to be at this time. It'll probably be like half an hour, 40 minutes after that. PreachCon 2024 started at exactly 7 p.m. precisely. Go fuck yourselves. Exactly 7 p.m. I once again give a huge shout out to the crew. Smashed it. We smashed, well, day one. We smashed it day one. We smashed day one. Huge shout out to the crew during registration. Lots of people chipped in. Zoe, JD, Pixie, Lucy, Emma. Austin was working the door. Actual American police officer was working the door to make sure nobody snuck inside while we were running through some sort of rehearsals. Yep, Austin took to himself to teach everybody his spreadum. His spreadum is vicious, actually. He's got a vicious spreadum because apparently he now collects a paddle which he spanks people with. I believe there's videos of spanking people. He collected, I think, 62 names who wanted to be spanked. 57. Yeah, 57 people. Oh, yeah, I think it is. He's in the chat. He knows the official count. But I believe it was 57 people. There you go. 57 people, including myself, took a spanking. But you can see some quality registration going on. Paku was helping. Paku did so much. Paku was incredible. We haven't got Paku's photos because there's like 1,000 of them, I think. So, yeah, we'll get them. There's also, we recorded everything, but obviously, Chris, it's like 10 terabytes of footage we have from PreachCon. It'll be in a while. Chris had a wonderful time off. Yes, it was going on. But everybody got their registration. We did have a couple of issues with shirts. Chris is going to be working them today. Of like the 100 and odd shirts we made, there was like 15 or so that were the wrong sizes. So we'll get them sorted with you ASAP. Obviously, we couldn't do anything about it at the event. But for Team Chaos, it actually worked out. So registration underway.
That reminds me, just to put it out for the chat if I can very quickly.
Sure, Chris. Disrupt my flow. Why don't you?
It's got to happen. Anyone who did have a problem with their shirts, can you please reach out to Zoe? I know some of you already have already. She is tabulating all of the information.
Zoe's doing it?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, there she is. Lazy over there, doing the shirt counter. And they're doing stuff. Everybody getting ready. Gimpy looking beautiful. Chris at his tech desk. Got him all set up on his tech desk. People sneaking around. The gathering of the nerds in the room. Okay, what did you guys show Georgina? What? Exactly what is going on there? What did you guys show Georgina that resulted in that face? I don't understand. I don't know what happened there, but something happens. I enjoy whipping it out. Yeah, maybe it was. It must have been Enos. Yeah, it's across from Enos. Enos was clearly doing something sus. Doing something very sus. Yeah, blame Enos. I admit to nothing. Okay. So something went on there. Very sussy. We'll get to this situation. Just note Kayvon and Kayvon's mum. God bless Kayvon's mum. If we could give God bless to Kayvon's mum. Wonderful Kayvon's mother and the journey she went through on this PreachCon. Became a star, actually. Became a star. Yes, she became a star. Everyone getting ready. Glorious tables, ready to rock and roll. Awesome. Yeah, the beers were flowing. The glorious back table. Yes, there was the schedule officially printed. As you can see, now you hold it up. Yes, Monvon owns Kayvon. The sussy crawler table at the back. And Mr. Turtlefish, all the way from Singapore, came to see us. Oh, yes. The table's set. The Quet and the Tombury, all ready to rock and roll. Everyone taking their positions. And Emma opening the show. Nailing it. Emma opening... You know she invoked the dead dog for sympathy. I was in the back listening to her opening little speech, and she invoked the loss of Ben and started crying while she was doing her opening speech. Yeah, exactly. I was like, why is she bringing up a dead dog as I'm about to take the stage and hopefully entertain some people? Why is that happening? Why is she invoking the dead dog? Why? Why is this happening? But she nailed it. She did it really well. Emma was phenomenal during this, and we'll get there shortly. So... out we came. Show is underway. Got myself a shirt. Not bad. Ready to go. All good. So, PreachCon was different this year. I said I wanted to change it up. That was the fateful words. That was the fateful words. I did iron it, and then I had shitloads to do afterwards, so it didn't work out. I did not know what was going to happen at PreachCon this year, besides the ending. I genuinely mean that. I invited our guests. I got the guests, and then I kind of put it to the team to work on things behind the scenes so that I could be as surprised and work with whatever we want. Right? That was the plan. That was the plan. So, I came out and didn't know. And this is all legit. I didn't know. I did not know exactly what we were doing at all. So that meant we invoked Fat Boss Alex as the actual host of PreachCon. Fat Boss Alex was the one who knew all the things. All the things. Alex knew what was going on. Alex had an idea. He was the host of what the hell we were doing. I will say this. Alex had the feedback. He's like, loved it. I want more time to cook. Because he only found out about most of the things on the day. And he was like, it was too much. I actually thought Alex was going to be involved for about 20 minutes. But it turned out they had way more information for him than he was ready for. He ended up doing stuff throughout the entire show. So a bit more time for Alex to cook. Although he absolutely loved it. And he rolled with it. And we improv'd with it. And we did all kinds of stuff. Jordan's outfit for PreachCon. Jordan was the first guest they brought out to come along with me as a giant tin of beans. Yes. Our lovely Jordan was an enormous tin of beans for PreachCon. That's what she wanted to be. She was beans. She was super beans. I feel bad. Jordan kept this secret the whole time. As I was about to go out on stage, I remembered I needed to tell Alex something, so I went back into our green room where she was getting changed, and she went, "Fuck you!" She kept it secret the entire time, but she was just getting ready as I popped back. I had left the room. I mean... It was just one of those things. It's just one of those things. I was like, I need to pop back and talk to Alex. Because I knew Alex was going to be first out because he was hosting. So I was like, Alex, just remember this bit. And she was just getting ready. She was like, fuck you. I can't believe it. But she came out. What they prepared for us, for those of you who missed it, was a tier list. Based on the fact that I wouldn't know anybody from these games, from the game. Chris picked some of the most ridiculously obscure characters, and it turns out that the theme of PreachCon this year was the devastation of me. That was the plan. The devastation of me. So you can see, she had people like Alpha. Very tough, very hard characters. I had the most fucking obscure, random bullshit ever. Characters that look exactly like Gaia, but are not Gaia. They're somebody else. I said Coco Boosie, and it was Coco Buki. And therefore, that's a failure on my eyes, right? That is... shambles. Shambles. Full shambles. Do note, you can't see on here, Jordan's tier list is S++, S+, S, A, and B. Mine was all... And I put everybody in D because they were all shit on the way. Yes, so the destruction of Preach was what the team came up with, was the absolute devastation of me. That was the idea. So I called bullshit on this whole thing, as you can imagine, and ended up in full shambles by the end of segment 1. This is segment 1. I am fully destroyed after segment. It was incredibly unfair. To which the team, then, as Jordan celebrated as the big tin of beans, with her sweet victory and got to go and have a beer, the team then bought me a clown outfit. I will warn you, there is definite... you're about to see some bulge. This outfit did not fit. This outfit did not fit, and as I had to put it on in the back, because they gave me it in a box, I had to go put it on in the back and take my other clothes off. I went, Nupss, this does not fit, and Nupss said, get out there and get on with it. So, we're out there. And I had to do the rest of the show dressed as a clown. Dressed as a clown. So that's my carefully thought out clothes was got red nose. The red nose did not fit, unfortunately. There was a red nose where I had to juggle and do all kinds of things, which obviously, as you can imagine, didn't work. Now, the next bit, they had me make balloon animals out of a giant inflatable cock, as you can see. I did most of the legwork on this. But then I was rescued by the ultimate blower, my wife. Emma charged on the stage. And finished this bad boy off for me very, very quickly. Yeah, very quickly. Resulting in ultimate victory. Success was had. We did it. Yeah, ultimate victory. As Emma got it on there. Pathetic. I was almost there. I want to say, I did most of the voluminous work, just not, you know, the finale work, right? Just not the finale work. Most of the work, but not the finale work. Then a video played, which was a Discord call. Now, I will say this. I didn't know Josh was here. I knew Josh was coming for the second day. Josh, Strife Hayes, when I communicated with him to come to PreachCon, he had been to PreachCon before, kind of. He came to the Witchwood at the previous PreachCon. As I was getting in the taxi to leave, Josh arrived. So the first time I met Josh, I was walking saying goodbye, and then I went, Josh, you're here. And he went, yeah. And then I was like, I'm leaving. My taxi's waiting for me. Bye. But we've spoke a lot since then. And I said, do you want to come to PreachCon? He said, yes. However, Josh was at a convention called Timeless 20 minutes away. So when we were talking, he was saying, this doesn't finish till 10 p.m. So I can come and have a few drinks. I was like, that's fine. That's no problem. All good. And then he said, I'll come for the next day for the community day, but I can't make the show because I'm there till 10 p.m. From that point, someone from my team reached out to Josh with an idea of what they wanted to do. To which Josh replied, I will not eat all day at Timeless. I will take my lunch break when PreachCon is taking place. I will take a taxi from the event that I'm at. I will come out and do PreachCon, and then I will get in a taxi back to the event to finish it up, which is exactly what happened. So behind me, this started playing, and I was like, This feels like a pre-recorded video, but I'm not sure. Like, can I talk to Josh? Sure enough, Josh was there. Josh was there. In the flesh. Josh arrived and was on the stage and coming out and doing things. That is king shit. It is. It is. It is king shit. However, it did all go wrong for the team's plans. The segment, apparently, because I had, by this point, remember, been devastated by Jordan. I had been crushed by my team, who had put me in a clown outfit and had me try juggle a blow-up inflatable cock. The segment that had been decided for Josh was who was the most knowledgeable of MMOs. Now, in terms of, like, variety of MMOs, Josh should win. Chris wrote the questions. I am the king. Josh looked at me while he was on the stage like, I don't know any of these questions. Josh didn't know the answers to any of them. I love this picture Chris made of me and Josh staring at a pair of Moogle testicles while this was happening. There was questions about Terra, fucking RuneScape, all sorts of shit. And I just worked through it, DCU Universe Online, all sorts of stuff. Well, they adapted the quiz. I was winning. Yeah, there was a lot of jokes about Josh killing Terra. Like I said, I'm giving you the synopsis, but the show was very enjoyable. We had whiteboards and things to give our answers to keep them sneaky. So what they did is they gave the Dark Age of Camelot was on here. They gave Josh the last question worth all the points. What was Josh's first WoW character? Like... what kind of... You can see how pissed I am. Because I was winning, dude. I was winning. I was fucking winning. I was totally ahead. Yeah, exactly. And in fact, I would have almost got it correct, but I read Demon Hunter as DK and dismissed it. I tried to strategically work through it, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out. So, I lost, as you can see. I had lost everything. And then our girl Zeppler came out. Now, she was extraordinarily tired as she came out. Now, I need something for this. Okay. As I said, we were in with Zeppler for about 15 minutes running through what should happen here, right? And the idea is pretty simple. Zeppler was here to represent anime. She was here to defend the honor of the anime, and anime was going to take over PreachCon and be the ultimate devastation on my soul. Zeppler was here to defend Genshin and Honkai and all that kind of stuff. Yes, Zeppler represented the Weeb army. I will say this, people lost their fucking mind when she came out. Like, keeping her hidden was so good. Like, when they saw her, they were like, what the fuck, Zeppler's here? So good. Yeah, it was amazing. It was everything I promised her it would be. It worked out super well. I didn't get this. I saw her putting these glasses on, and she turned to the crowd, and it turns out a lot of PreachCon are weebs, because they all understood what the fuck was happening, and I was so confused. I was so confused. She then started doing some sort of Power Rangers fucking chant mantra thing that was going on. Like, and everybody was loving it, and I was so confused with the light up glasses. I was like, I have no fucking clue what is going on whatsoever. It's just sus, you moron. I don't know what that is. I don't know. But she did summon her weeb army. I paused my anime to be here. This better be good. And Ravenrib wearing what appears to be a cum-drizzled onesie. The anime army came out. The anime army came out to defend the honor of the weebs as they made it. I love, yeah. Can we give maximum love here for Raven? Who ripped off his top. Absolute Giga Chad, looking fine as hell, man. Fine as hell. Fucking pulled this off. I was in hysterics when this was happening. As they were calling me out for being anti-weeb, and I told them anime can go and fucking die in a fire, to which they beat the shit out of me. I have bruises. I am bruised from this, because it turns out I'm very easy to lift these days, to which they legitimately lifted me up in the air, and were beating the shit out of me. I only, after seeing the pictures, realize somebody was enjoying this way too much. Way too much. And not looking mean and vicious at any point whatsoever. Was thinking it was fucking hilarious as she watched me get beat up and the guys were punching me on the floor. They did grab me. They did go for me, as I told them to do, to get all this damage. You can see the grip that Nupss has around my throat. Like, look at his face. You can see the grip. Now, hold on. Writing on Raven's back. Yeah. Now. You can see Zeppler has something in her hands here. I have it here. It is a traditional style wrestling steel chair. She took the steel chair. Now, of the 15 minutes we spent in Zeppler's room, 5 minutes was spent on the chair shot. I said, I've got you a nice anime chair. It's bright white and pink. You can't miss it. It's on the right-hand side of the stage. It'll be there from the beginning of the show. You'll be able to see it. And I said, look, Zeppler, I know you got that Southern American, Louisiana, like, fucking farm strength, right? So I said, I would need you to hit me with it so there's a sound, right? But don't, like, fucking break me. All right, like that's dangerous. Like, don't fucking like brain me into next week, because I know you've never done this before. So I said, in order to make this easier, right, there's a padded side. Still makes a nice noise. There's a padded side. You can't get it wrong. I said it's the pink side. And we went over this for about 5 minutes. I said, whatever you do, just make sure you hit me with the padded side. Now, as you guys can see from this picture, it's a little hard to see. The padded side is facing Zeppler. It is not facing me. As the boys lifted me up by my arms, because I had no arm protection, you can see Raven and Nobble are holding both my arms. So I'm on my knees like this. Right? I'm on my knees like this. And I look up. I look up as she's swinging this chair at me. And what I see is the metal side coming at me. And the bar is aiming right at my head. That's what I look up and see. So I'm on my knees and I look up and I just see this coming at me. And I just remember, it was like super slow motion, and it did take me back to my wrestling days. All I thought was, for fuck's sake. And I had to wiggle my neck to make sure I at least hit this bit. And I hope it comes through in the video, because as Luna just pointed out, that sound rang through the room as she clobbered me with the wrong side of the chair. Right in the fucking head. Right in the head. The best part is, she didn't realize she'd done this until I told her afterwards. It's like, you hit me with the wrong side of the chair. And she went... And then it dawned on her. She sent me a lovely apology note as I lay on the floor. But thankfully, it was fine. It didn't get me. I managed to, like, pull it back as she hit me with it. She didn't have the mega strength for this to happen. But of course, then we needed saving. As Dan ripped off his shirt to be the referee because the animes were going to get the pin on me. I will say this. The original idea was to actually have the wrestling ring in the place. We worked on that premise for a long time, like 3 months, that it was going to be an actual wrestling ring. And we were going to have like a match and stuff, but we couldn't get it like dismantled in time, and it would have taken up too much space. So it was hard to do during the show. It was a logistical nightmare. So Dan dives in to count the 3. 1, 2. PreachCon was saved by the rat. This was our big finale as the rat came out to rescue PreachCon and destroy the weebs. The rat came out to rescue and save us and burn away the anime and make the dream come true. And as the rat stood over me and I bowed to the rat, I submitted to the will of the rat. The rat, of course, was our friend Roger Brown. Now... Now, what happened after this was intermission. We do have intermission where everybody went and got food, which took a really long time, actually, because everybody, I think, was really hungry. We planned like half an hour, but I think we gave it like 45 minutes, something like that, maybe an hour, because people were scoffing and munching away. It was then time for drama time. I will say I'm going to show you very few pictures of this. We're going to show you very few pictures of this. So, live drama time is a thing. Live drama time is a thing. But I want to set this up for you is... Throughout the day, when I could be around, I'm obviously like, sort of, I know what the drama story is going to be. So I'm looking for the candidates who might fit into drama. So we don't usually like the most outgoing people because it's less fun that way. It's more refreshing in some other way. But one concern I did have is that Roger Brown didn't get to say anything or do anything during PreachCon because I wrote him into the end of the show on the basis he might not be able to show up. So while I was in the green room, while everyone was getting food and I was getting changed, Roger came in with his food, and he was talking to me. It was like how amazing it was, the crowd reaction, because fucking people were like, holy shit, all that kind of stuff. And he was like, it was so fun. I can't wait to go out and see people again. And he's like, so I'm done now, right? I'm like, yeah. You're totally done, Roger. You're absolutely done. Like, you can go out. We've got a table for you at the side near the stage. There's a chair waiting for you. There'll be a beer waiting for you. All good. What made it even better is while Roger like went out into the room and sat with everybody, he sat next to Alex and he's grabbing himself a beer and he's got some food in him. He's all right. Alex tells him, "Yeah, we're done now, mate. Mike never picks us for drama time. It's always the audience members for drama time." Thank you, Alex. Not that we set that up. I never pick the content creators for drama time. But how can you bring someone as wonderful as Roger Brown and not give them a microphone or something to do, right? And so we had Roger Brown. And I chose him and I said, "Roger Brown, will you please come to the stage?" He looked at Alex and he went, "You motherfucker." And Alex is like, I didn't know. He's like, "You motherfucker. You motherfucker. I didn't know. But our drama time other choices were Kayvon's mother. I'll give you context for those of you who didn't get to see drama time. Roger Brown turns out to run a pagan cult where he's become the tribal chief of worshippers, and Kayvon's mum became one of those worshippers who had to clean and worship and bring all sorts of things for the cult leader that was Roger Brown. And apparently Roger told me afterwards, Roger ran into a bit of a pickle because in the story, Kayvon's mother and Roger Brown started dating and getting frisky. And Rayvon felt, Roger felt very uncomfortable doing some of the things he thought would be funny to Kayvon's mum. So when I read it out, Roger came to me and he said, So in the story, you're saying things like, me and Kayvon's mum started banging and he said he was going to do this. And then he looked at Kayvon's mum and he's like, I can't do that. I can't do it. And I was like, that's kind of the point. That's kind of the point, is to create that tension and that awkwardness to go on. I will say, Kayvon's mum was incredibly fun, got involved with it, had so much fun. She was wonderful. You can see I had a great time. I got to have my revenge as I sat on the side regaling people. Roger was a streamer. We had all sorts of things going on. Now, we should tell this story, because I didn't find this out until 2 days later. This here is Crazy Jack. I believe he's here in the chat. Been with us for many, many years. In fact, Jack's been with the community for so long. He's watched Race to World First. He's done all sorts of wonderful things. Jack came to me afterwards and said, who's Roger Brown? I went, what? Jack was utterly convinced that this was just an attendee that he had ended up being in drama time with. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I've never seen him before in my life. I said, he said, I've heard the name somewhere, but I have no fucking clue who he was. He thought it was just some rando we'd picked. So he was on, I don't know, I think we've removed the picture, but Jack really got into it because he thought Roger was like an attendee. Not that you should have acted any differently, but at certain points of the show, Jack was lying on the floor with his crotch, thrusting into Roger Brown's face. And then afterwards, Jack was like, oh, right. I thought it was just an attendee. Oh, commitment to the bit. Commitment to the bit. And you can see Kmon go into it as well and seen his moment there. There she was. And then we recruited Benji's new wife, who had no idea what PreachCon was. Benji, who has been a long-time member of the community, got married this year and decided it would be a good idea to bring his brand new wife, who has never heard of me, never heard of Drama Time, never heard of anything, to PreachCon. To which, of course, we had to bring her up on the stage and joining the medley of things going on. It was great. Like, obviously, I did meet them beforehand. I didn't tell them they were going to be a drama, but it was very clear they would have a really good time with drama. And it wasn't going to be a problem. So, yeah, it was fine. It was a warm welcome. Like, she really loved it. I don't think we... Oh, it's not here yet, Otome. So then we drafted in Otome. The Pussy Slayer. Now, I will say this for you, Otome. I will say this for you. The Pussy Slayer Otome. With the Preach Gaming body pillow. But more importantly, this shirt, which I don't think we have a clean... Oh, we do. Kawaii in the streets, hentai in the sheets. So, part of the story involved somebody who is a legitimate moderator on Reddit of various anime subreddits, from review subreddits all the way through to hentai subreddits. Why is it covered in piss? Well, the story described, which is not our words, literally the most degenerate person and stinky, unwashed person you could imagine. So, we had a group meeting. Probably about 16 people were involved in this Otone. Who is like the most well-groomed, put-together person who's never been in a drama time who attends PreachCon, who clearly looks after themselves and likes to make a nice appearance. And you can see Otone, the perfect hair, nicely shaven beard, all shaped nicely, looking clean as a whistle, the ice white shirt, the fitted jeans, the whole thing. So, of course, we asked around. Every single person we asked went, Otone. Now, this shirt is obviously stained. This was Zoe's creation. We bought it from Amazon. It came obviously clean. And then we gave it to Zoe and Janie and Paku and co earlier in the day, but mostly Zoe, to make it look like somebody who is a full degenerate who never washes and would have a dirty shirt. They went and stole, as far as I know, the sauce packets and trays of sauce from the restaurant. Within 2 minutes, I believe Paku came around the corner with her hands covered in all sorts of fucking bizarre, weird sauces that they've been smearing all over the shirt in order to scuff it up. That was a good start. But then they started to get creative. At this point, Augurs went and got some Fruity Punch Monster, which was then poured down the front of it to give it this nice pinkish hue that you can see going down it. It then got more creative. And it didn't even really come out, though. But then they had people putting out cigarettes on the shirt and ash and all sorts of shit. And I was like, we have to stop. The shirt is going to stink. It's going to be awful. And we're asking someone to wear it. Like, we can't go worse than this. It has to stop. We have to put a stop to it. Yeah, we have to put a stop. It was like, we don't want it to be that. And now it was soaking wet. So we actually, throughout the day, had it outside, following the sun around. As chairs got covered in shade, we were following the sun around to dry it out. I think he nailed it, honestly. I think the Pussy Slayer nailed it 100%. You can see as they all had to sit and worship Roger Brown in his cult. This is a goat, as you can tell. It's Bex's sheep with some antlers. Easily a cultish goat. They all had to sit and worship and make it all reasonable. But one thing we did... I don't know if you could send it me, Bex, the transcript of this. As they all realized that Roger Brown maybe was not the most amazing of cultish leaders, Bex added to the story a letter to be read by Kayvon's mother. In which... I don't know if Bex could give us a little... if Bex could send me the transcription of what was in it, but... the wonderful, wholesome, amazing Kayvon's mum, in that letter, declared Roger Brown the worst streamer of all time. He has a flaccid, limp dick, and that he could never satisfy her in the sheets. And, and Roger Brown's face when this lovely lady was reading this to him. It was so good. She read it out to him to make it work. Oh, it was amazing. He just was like, Jesus Christ. It's never satisfied. He didn't make it. And Dennis was loving it as the... it's in Discord. Hold on. Oh, I haven't got access. But that was the general gist. That was the general gist of what we did. And there she can see her reading the letter. She did not look impressed when she read the words. So Tom was loving it though. Oh, Tom was absolutely loving it. He was like, this is the fucking funniest shit I've ever seen in my life, is to have this going on. To which we then had, of course, the taxman Nupss come down and bring down the cult, which was named Echo. I was honestly really happy with the cheers and screams that Nupss got as the taxman who arrived to claim justice on the fraudulent Echo as he got brought down. And there's some nice pictures of the after party. Now, of course, it didn't end there, my friends. Of course not. That was merely day one. I will say this. Day one went extraordinarily well. Better than we could have imagined. It was so good. Day two, on the other hand, at least from the team side, did not go particularly well. We had a ton of tech issues, which... frankly, didn't affect many people at all, so the overall thing was fine. We just bit off way more than we could chew on the tech side, but it actually went overall pretty well. However, there are things that happened at PreachCon that I don't understand the context for. For example, I'm going to the toilet. Our wonderful Chloe's chasing behind me with a first aid kit and said, "Have you seen Isaac?" I went, "No." And she went, "Isaac is bleeding everywhere. And he needs to he's in the toilets and he needs help." I'm like, what? So I took the first aid kit from Chloe, went into the toilet, and I'm screaming, "Isaac, are you in here? Isaac, what's going on?" He's not in there. So I come out, Chloe's waiting. I said, "He's not in here. I don't know where he is." And she went off with it to, like, find out where he is. Now, that was kind of the last I heard of it until I saw Isaac later with bandages all over his arms. What happened? Well, apparently, when you put a whole bunch of nerds in a building and they see a slightly crooked picture on the wall, they need to deal with it, my friends. They need to deal with it. Because, God forbid, that there should be a slightly crooked picture on the wall, right? That would be like a crooked display. We can't live in a world with a crooked display. Now, ask yourself, how many nerds does it take to correct a crooked display? The answer you're looking for is 3. And what happens when 3 nerds try to fix a crooked picture on the wall? They smash it to pieces. Including all the glass going everywhere. All over the place. Well, you don't see 4. You see 3. And then you see a member of staff who was no doubt begging them to please leave it the fuck alone as it fell and smashed onto the floor. And then the member of staff now having to deal with it as Isaac has now scratched up all his arm. I don't know. I think that's Neuronis. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. But you can see the picture has gone out of the frame. The whole thing has got anywhere. Now, did the nerds really care about what they did? Well, let's ask Armst. Clearly not. Another good job well done. Another job well done. Great success, everybody. Great success. I'm just going to carry on drinking my beer. It's all gone well. It's all wonderful, right? It's not wonky now. We did it, team. Well done. Oh, yeah. Another successful con. So, as day 2 got underway, and we were arranging day 2, and we were doing all the work, I look over to see this happening. This is before we let you guys in. Is Zoe and Jordan decided to try and make themselves into, I don't know, giant condoms, or just like they were bags, or something along those lines. And this is what I see going on while we're trying to sort out our tech issues over there. But day 2, we had the 5v5 tournament, we had cosplay, we had all kinds of stuff. It was kept clean by our man Braggart, who was sweeping the aisleway to make sure that the entryway was full on point. Of course, it's got to make sense that Braggart is maintaining full cohesion over this situation. Yes, the janitor doing very, very well there. Who was our first cosplay, you might wonder? Well, Poseidon himself. Poseidon himself showed up to bless us with the holy flood. Which is just wonderful, as Poseidon made his way and read the scrolls of why the floods were being formed, including, yes, he wrote a speech. XP potions, abusing cats, all sorts of things were the results of this situation that needed to be dealt with why it was flooded. We'll give special shout outs to our special Tataru who showed up. Yes, our good lady Paku, who was me as Tataru as Paku. Yeah. The whole way forward. Put the Tataru on far better than my Tataru, I will say that. Who was this? Because none of us had seen the show. We thought it was a cosplay of Jason Charles Miller. It is not. Florida Man? No. Yellowstone. Yeah. None of us had seen Yellowstone, but it was from Yellowstone. Yeah, it was absolutely from Yellowstone. Yeah, better some guy from some TV show. I didn't get it, but everybody else did. We then had a wonderful Jedi Knight by Jakey. Noble came as the pacifist Plunderstorm teammate of mine, carrying me. Thanks, Noble. Yes, the Plunderstorm pacifist himself. Absolutely wonderful. Carrying me. Oh, yeah, 10 out of 10. 100% factual. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, I will say this. Isaac wore this upsettingly well. Isaac could walk in heels surprisingly well. Like, this was upsettingly good. The Tekken gameplay. Yes, this was the Tekken characters that showed up. Isaac was stunning. Yes, and had no issue. Jaffe was pulling it off as well. Nailing it. Poor Sunshine with the biggest heels of all time. That's fine, these heels are. I love these heels. They were so high. Getting up the stairs was so hardcore. Like, getting up the stairs, I felt so bad. Yeah, it is a full Tekken fighting game thing. Jono, though. No one even... How did people not know this was Jono? The cosplay was so good. People didn't realize it was Jono. It was such a good outfit. It was incredible. But no cosplay in our community can be complete without Gaia. There she is. Melody, looking as full Gaia as possible. The Gaia was on display. I'm glad I didn't go as Gaia. I was thinking of being Gaia. I was going to nail it and get it done. But no, the Gaia was working hard. Not to be outdone, though. Our wonderful Rainbow Panda. Absolutely glorious. Putting everybody to shame again. Commission's open. They are professional cosplayers and will create things for you if you're looking for it. Our wonderful Rainbow Panda in the chat. Absolutely stunning. Did the Reaper at FanFest, if you remember the Reaper. Quickly put together, she said. Just threw it together. Just threw it together. As did the Mentor Blacksmith coming in and doing work. The wonderful Yuri, who got in there nailing it. Yeah, got on there and somehow managed to convince Jordan to be the anvil. As Jordan hosted this show and nailed it down. The trident looks so good. Yeah, yeah. Full Mentor Giga Chad coming out there. We had Jackako as the Hobbits who arrived, looking for that, searching for that ring. We had the Hobbitses coming in. I can't even see who's next here. Who is this? It's the Chained Together gang. I have to give credit where credit's due for how clever this was. For the Chained Together squad. Although Zoe was wearing the fish head and couldn't see anything and made this incredibly difficult for the rest of the team, especially Boya, who literally had to drag her around actually playing Chained Together while they did this, because they were legitimately chained together for the whole thing. Yeah, accurate to the game. Yeah, hard carrying, doing big work from all of them. Yeah, it was incredible. And then a surprise entry to the cosplay. Kitty Pants made an appearance, and she never told me at all she was doing this. The wild and wonderful Kitty Pants became a part of the cosplay. I had no idea. She went and sorted this out the day before for Kitty Pants to take the stage. Actually, a little overdressed for Kitty Pants, I think we'll agree. Yeah. I think we could agree. A little overdressed from what I've heard of Kitty Pants antics. But then there was another surprise entry. The Floor Inspector. The Floor Inspector made an appearance in order to join the cosplay competition. Indeed. I had no idea about this either, but the Floor Inspector took to the stage to keep it clean and keep it working. Absolute legend. Don't tell me that boy doesn't love the stage, especially what he did later on. But of course, as many as you saw on Twitter, there was one other. I did tell you that somebody called me immediately during the Savage... Literally after I left the Savage broadcast to say they needed it. Mr. Josh made his way out. The Honeybee Lovely was back. The Honeybee Lovely was back. Now, I will say this. I was going to wear it because Josh had asked me for it. He'd, like, called me immediately after the Savage race to say, I need that outfit for PreachCon, for the cosplay on day 2, which is when he was supposed to be coming. But he hadn't asked me about it all day. And I've been busy, so I had it in a bag. And I was like, I think I told Bex or somebody, I was like, I'm going to come out last as Honeybee Lovely. Honeybee Lovely will make an appearance, because it's PreachCon, of course. As Josh ran over and went, do you have it? Do you have it? And I was like, it's right here. So take to the stage, good sir. Take to the stage and enjoy it. So now that costume has been worn by me, by Jeeth, by Josh, and it is also leaving our possession yet again because somebody else wants it. I will point out to the people, certainly content creators, who keep asking me for the Honeybee Lovely outfit, It's 10 quid on Amazon. You don't need to use mine. Like, this thing is being passed around like a fucking dog toy. You don't... It's 10 quid on Amazon. It's, like, dirt cheap. You really don't need to, like, use this specific one. It's the smell. It's got legacy now. It's got history, right? That's what's happening. It's got history. It's got legacy. It's got the whole thing going on. Yeah, I get it. I will say, phenomenal how this has came together towards the end of the day. It kept filling in. But coming back to Zeppler. Yeah, people were doing this. I was so happy how people took to this. This is like midway through the day. People took to this so well that this the painting station had 3 or 4 tables which sat 10 or 12 people a time. It was being done from the moment the doors opened until the bar closed. It was being done for 9 or 10 hours straight of people just painting and having fun and just getting into it and doing different ones. What became really interesting about it is a lot of people refused to put theirs in the diorama because they didn't want anybody touching it. And so they went and took it to Chris. Chris had like a collection of them behind the box because they were really worried somebody would fuck around with it and mess theirs up. So they were like, I want to keep mine over here. I want to keep mine over here. Zeppler sent me this message this morning. Literally a couple of hours ago. I just made it home last night. I had an absolute blast. Getting to see the inside of your studio was actually really fucking cool. I enjoyed every minute of it. I'm so happy to hear that people enjoyed me being there. That moment of walking out in the crowd after being kept secret is something I'll never forget. I'm so glad I was able to go. I was loving doing the Warhammer thing. I got super into it. I'd never painted a mini before, but it was so immersive and fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I've gotten so attached, I'm really sorry, Mike, that I painted 2 of them and took them both home. There's always something. There's always something. There's fucking always something going on. Always. There's always something going on. There's just... It can't be standard. It can't be. It's impossible to be standard. Yeah, dipped yet again and yoinked out of all existence every single step of the way. But yes, everybody did super well with these. I love the people who brought their own special ones. Most of them got put behind the back if they'd brought something that they've really worked on. Like Bragg Arts was out here, but most of them went and got given to Chris. And then we collected a few the next days to go on. So Chris is going to be working on the diorama for a while. Obviously, this was the basic paint job. We knew people were going to be like fucking hands all over it. And we had people signing all the outside, which came out phenomenal. It's in the other room right now. But the whole thing is covered in all the signatures of the people who attended PreachCon. But yeah, it worked out so well. Like, really happy with it. I loved this, the Arms Make, the Lady Demetresque one. She forgot her laptop at customs. She'll get it back. Well, there she was, super focused. Yeah, it came out amazingly well. It was so good. Really fantastic. But we also had the 5v5 tournaments. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see in the back, the Rat now has a new shirt on. Roy's Beans was the victors of our 5v5 tournament. Roy's Beans came out on top. Roy's Beans, which then started a beans chant throughout the whole room as people were screaming beans. We'll have this in the videos and things like that of what actually went down there. But Roy's Beans. That's me making fun of an orphan, by the way. So I had a lot of prizes to give away. So we had everybody give a reason, like Britain's Got Talent, as to why they deserved a displate. So obviously Tias was like, oh, I had cancer, whatever, right? I'm giga poor. And then he just went, does being an orphan count? So which I then put to the audience, no, it doesn't count. How many people in the room of orphans? And God bless you all who obviously picked up on the story and all decided to be orphans. Everybody was an orphan in the room. Every single person in attendance was an orphan. So it wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. To which we let James decide who was going to be. And James said, called them all peasants for not having a display. And made them choose who they're going to be. And then we threw down in a game of rock, paper, scissors as to how it was to go down. Yeah, James took it on. And of course, the team who finished out day 2. And without any of these people here, this would not have worked at all. I haven't got any pictures of the sweet collection. I don't know where that is. The sweeties and what was happening. But it doesn't end there. Although I do have this wonderful moment. I wish I had the sweeties, because I have in my possession here in the studio around 25 kilos of sweets that you guys brought. But we do have the celebration of Team Beans. That is the celebration of the Beans as they brought home the victory. Yes, the Beans were doing well. Jordan Fish doing work. Jordan Fish laying it down. Yes, there's tons and tons of stuff. You gotta love the Jordan Fish, but there was then time for a night out for the after party. The after party. I sent you a video of all the candy. Oh, perfect. Let me show that before we move on to the after party. This was organized by Jono. Is people brought candy from all over the world and created a open pick and mix. I would ask some of the attendees that were here, how many of you just were fed by this over the entire day? Because they had like pick and mix bags. We had some, our Russian friend bought some cool stuff. I think a lot of people literally just dined out on pick and mix all day. It was a very cool idea by our man, Mr. Jono. And everybody jumped into it. This is what people brought. This has nothing to do with us. The Dodgers clearly got cleaned out. Yeah, it was food from all over the world. This is how much candy people brought. Yeah. And it's still here. I believe Emma is... there's still a lot left. And Emma is donating it to... I think it's like a child shelter or something like that. You ate a lot. I had a... I can't remember what it was called. It was a Russian pastry thing filled with like condensed milk caramel stuff. It was really, really nice. Well, people were just filling it up. You can see here, grab a baggie. So Jono brought these baggies and people were just walking around and just filling it up. Just filling it up with whatever you want. Wagon wheels. The Dodger plate is so empty. At the end, the hotel staff was so happy to get their handfuls. Yeah, you sent you a sweets vid as well. Oh, did you, lovely? What did you send? Yeah, the sweets was a big hit. The sweets we would do again in a heartbeat. Oh, so many sweeties. They have a logo. That's me introducing the teams in the back for our 5v5 tournament. This is an army or country? Well, I mean, it worked out incredibly well. Now, I have a bunch more to show you. And some stories of real degeneracy. Let's take 2 minutes and we'll get into what happened before any other behind-the-scenes stories. Yeah, don't remind me. Let me get a drink. I'm drinkless. And then I have some things. Including this, which is apparently a gift from you guys. Which Iliatis brought for me. And I was going to open on stage. You can see it's got wrapping around it. I don't know what's in here. As you can see, it's unopened. But give me 2 seconds. I'll move back because that's my wife. Wifey. Right. The Witchwood. I'm not showing much from this. Obviously, the finale picture, my friends. The finale picture of everything that went down. The finale picture of how many came to the after party. I will say, obviously, a lot of people left on the Thursday, but we did have the after party on Friday, which I could finally go to, which was amazing. I'm so sorry I've missed it the last few years. We need a drone cam? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, a lot of people had to go before this, but not that we didn't take over the whole place. I will say, this contrast of PreachCon, because one thing that came apparent is we had a lot of first-timers this year. A huge amount of first-timers. Is that there's no way of advertising what the event is. And telling people what it is. Like, that's almost impossible until you attend it yourself. But, I mean, it goes from, like, how it starts. And then it degenerated into war. As you can see. I like that Rob is, Stash. Well, this turned out to be, the film crew for Inside the Ropes, a YouTube channel that focuses on wrestling. That is a wrestling-focused YouTube channel. Their film crew and some of them showed up to the event, so they wanted to do some wrestling stuff, and maybe we'll work together in the future to do some interviews and things like that. So wanted the armbar to get in there, but it degenerated. I'm not trying to embarrass you. But there was a first-timer who on Wednesday was the most put-together person. And I was looking for a picture of them being all put together and nice. This is how they ended up by Friday. By Friday, that's what they had descended into. Imagine turning up on Wednesday, you're like, oh yeah, I'm here for like a gaming thing. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. And then by Friday, this is how it had degenerated into. I used the belly button here as the A, which I really liked. I thought this worked out really well, but yeah, this was by Friday. He was very clean cut on Wednesday. On Wednesday, all put together really nicely. But it's not like he was the only one who descended down this madness. I don't know who brought the pen or who thought, you know what? I think Chloe started this with like the best way of partying. Why is that a picture? Why did you have people signing your chest novel? Many pens were brought. Yes. I mean, I signed a lot of, like, lanyards and things like that. I did all that kind of stuff. A bad influence. I believe the security staff signed Chloe. Nerds getting wild. They did get wild. It did get very, very wild. It was an adventure, to say the least. I do have a video here, I think, of the Roy's Beans winning. If I can find it. That's dancing. Oh, maybe I didn't get that one. Did I not? No, that's Stormy Show. Yeah, that's the post-show winning. That is the post-show. But of course, if you want to know what PreachCon is about, for the 10-year anniversary, when it comes up, is Otone left a lovely review of this. Beans. Room had a perfect hanging space for work clothes, as I was worried they would get creased. There seemed to be an event on while I was there, possibly a circus act due to a massive clown walking around. Breakfast involved beans, which is always a winner. The carpets were kept clean. Travelled on business, and then posted his picture of the shirt of his work clothes hanging in there. 4 stars. Thumbs up. That's absolutely, truly, that is a banger shirt. Yeah, I believe Otone took it home. Fantastic. Oh my god, the owner of the fucking hotel responded? Dear Otone, thank you for taking the time to leave a review of the hotel and your kind comments. We look forward to welcoming you back to the village, David. Yeah, it's automated, but it's still good. Oh my god. I love that Otone only has 2 reviews on TripAdvisor. I can't click them. Why doesn't it work? Yeah, he's only got 2 and they're both of them. That's not a link? What a lie. I assume yours might be the most upvoted reviews. Can I see them? Locations, reviews. The summary was created by AI based on reviews. What? Really? All reviews. Otone's the number 1. Oh, because it's most recent. What about, oh, where's popular? I would have thought yours got upvoted quite a lot, but I can't see it. Maybe it's got from 2000. No, it doesn't. Oh, these I don't even have upvotes. Where's the upvotes? The system is terrible. Yeah, can we not sort? Where's the sort functionality? Sort by excellent. Maybe yours isn't detailed enough, Otone. You didn't contain enough information. Unlucky. Yeah, it exists somewhere. Yeah. Popular mentions beans. Well, I believe the last one was about the janitorial staff because it had Braggart in it. It had Braggart in it. But tons of pictures are everywhere. Oh, I did not. No. Otone's was only 4 stars. Are both of them 4 stars? Oh, you can get it on your profile. Oh, I see. Yeah, the floor inspection and hotel review. The hotel was lovely. Bar was kept open for late-night degeneracy on Wednesday. The staff were very friendly. MVP was the janitor, who at all costs kept the hotel floor in perfect condition during the mass-controlled chaos from events. I heard a floor inspector was in the building that week and raved about the cleanliness of the floors especially. A very pleasant experience, especially all the food and places around the hotel. Would get drunk and sleep in this hotel again next summer. To be continued. And we have some lovely pictures. That's not yours. Of Braggart there. Cleaning the stage. So stupid. So fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. Absolutely fucking phenomenal scene. The crawler end shot, indeed. The crawlers at the end that attended that year. The crawler end shot doing well. Just normal pics. If you scroll through pictures of the hotel, that shirt pops up. That's so fucking stupid, dude. Holy shit, that's stupid as fuck. Oh my god. Oh, tell me there's a Braggart one. That would be great. Well played. Yeah, well played. Well played. Well fucking played. But in summary, that was PreachCon 2024. Let's open this gift. Alright, this is apparently from the chat, according to Eliaz's. Let's see what this is. I'm tearing the rat paper that's been self-printed. It says Rat Jam. Is this official? It's an official Silky. Is this a regulation Silky? Like an actual official one? Oh, wow. I need my knife. Thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, my knife's not sharp enough. It's a letter opener. Scissors. I have scissors. Hold. I have little scissors. I'm trying not to damage the box. There we go. It's got more shit on it. God damn it. That's one side. Behold! Regulation Silky with Pom. There we go. Regulation Silky with Pom. Rock solid, actually. Yeah, lovely. Regulation Silk Jam. Well, that will be added as well as the lanyard to go to the Emperor. Right there. Emperor! One more for the collection. One more. One more to add to the collection. One more. So, as I said earlier, there will be no PreachCon next year. The next PreachCon will be 2026. It will be the 10-year anniversary. We will do some sort of gathering next year, but it won't be the big stage show with tickets and shit like that. It will, one of the primary reasons is, when we do PreachCon, I do not get to spend anywhere near enough time with people as I would like, because I'm running the show. There was definitely people this year, I spoke to them, who was like, I really wish I could have actually, like, spoke to you for longer than, like, hi, how's it going? How's it going? AustraliaCon? We will do something, it just won't be the big stage show event, right? I want some time to, if we're going to do the 10-year anniversary, I didn't realize it was the 10-year anniversary until we got there in 2026. I want it to be like a big blowout, so I want some time to plan it. I haven't started the planning process yet. I'm just giving myself some time to actually plan it and make it proper, rather than try and force it annually and then be like, okay, we need to do it again next year and it's the 10-year anniversary. How are we going to do it? I want it to be worth your time. You understand where I'm coming from? So we will do something next year. Don't get me wrong. We will do something. It just won't be the big show and all that kind of stuff. That will be 2026. 2026, we will have the next big PreachCon event. Outside of that, we will organize some sort of gathering, which is like just, we're going to be here. Let's have fun for a few days. Do that kind of idea. Not CrawlerCon, no. CrawlerCon's a very different vibe to PreachCon. Very, very different vibe. It's not, it's not the wild craziness that is PreachCon, that kind of things. 26 will be around the next expansion. Yeah, probably. We won't line it up with FanFest, don't worry. We will not organize it alongside FanFest. That would be stupid. I imagine FanFest won't be in London next year, next time. I assume FanFest is going to be somewhere in Europe, something like that. Yeah, is there a pic of the diorama? There's a few. I've been a bit choosy. I didn't want to look at like 1,000 pictures because there's so many pictures. But the diorama is actually, it's not finished yet. There's a lot of work to be done on the diorama. Like I said, Chris wanted a rough painting of the diorama, but the details were not worth doing until after people had stopped mauling it and messing with it and all that kind of stuff. So that was the thought process with that. So there's more work to be doing it, but it's absolutely covered head to toe in writing. I think someone broke a silver pen and poured it into the diorama. Things like that happened. One of the pens broke and started leaking. I went over the edge. I'm just browsing now if I can see a quick pic with all the signatures and stuff on it. But there's like 10,000 pictures of PreachCon spread all over the place. What was the furthest somebody came? Russia, Japan, Singapore, Australia. We had a few from Australia. Loads from America. Loads from all over the US came. So yeah, we pretty much covered everywhere. You ate the pen. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, pretty much everywhere. It was Team USA. Yeah, I think we had, I know we had Copper, Boxy, something about a man with a knife and belt pants. Oh! Yeah, okay. I did forget that. Alright, I'm going to tell you a story. And this story is not a joke. A few things happened during PreachCon. Which I honestly, part of me believes was a setup by possibly the gods themselves. I will say this. Me and Chris have obviously worked day in, day out of here for quite a long time. And there are things that have happened this week that have never happened to me or Chris. At the Witchwood, I lived there, behind there, for about 6 to 7 years. Bear that in mind. So, the tech issues we were having on day 2 were nothing to do with the gameplay, really. It was more a case of presenting it to the audience. And we were really had a ton of problems getting the feeds out and things like that for the 5v5 tournament. And we wanted it to be nice. It should have been simple. We tested it internally. It was fine. It just would not work in the venue. And ultimately, we ended up running the venue's game PCs, 10 of them, and Chris's PC off my phone via a little portable router and my SIM card in it. So all of the gaming PCs and Chris's PC ran off my SIM card through this little portable router. And it worked. It worked. But we couldn't get for whatever reason, we couldn't get this. You know, like you could see my gameplay. We couldn't get that to work. We couldn't get that to work, like, no matter what we did. It was awful. So I ended up spending about 5 hours in the car on day 2, which obviously was not ideal for somebody who should be on site, meeting and greeting and dealing, you know, and having fun and being community day and all, which is what day 2 was. So I was running around like a madman. And it got to the point where I could no longer leave the venue. I had things to do. So I asked Bex and George to go back to our office to here to grab some stuff. And they don't know their way around the office because they don't work in here. So we're trying to direct them via phone call. As they arrived, they said there was people doing drug deals on our doorstep. Again, me and Chris have never had this issue. We've never seen this happen, but that's what they said they saw. There was somebody doing a drug deal on our doorstep as they arrived and had to get inside. I then had to, like, get George on the phone. And I said these words. I'm going to ask you to do something for us, Drez, that you're not going to like, but I really need it to happen. And he's like, what? I said, I need you to go to our server room. I need you to get the ladder out. I need you to climb to the top of the server rack. And I need you to rip out our 10 gig switch. Because one of the only things we could think of as to why this wasn't working was some sort of bandwidth issue, which it shouldn't have been by any reason, but maybe, like, we were trying to solve these issues. So, George, we had to do it via Zoom call. I was like, that one, just rip that out. Like, rip everything out. You're going to deactivate internet to the building. None of the PCs are going to work, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I can repair it. Just get it out of there and get it back to us as quickly as possible. So we did that. He got past the drug dealers and he brought it back. Still didn't fix it. It was a software issue somewhere. So he still didn't fix it. And then we needed another solution to this. To which I was like, let's go old school and literally run HDMI out of these PCs into yours and do it that way. So some of you will have seen when we started dragging the 10 PCs a meter closer to Chris's PC. And then we dragged Chris's PC a meter closer to the 10 PCs because we only had 10 meter HDMI leads and it was 12 meters apart to make this work. So we then had to build a wall of chairs so we didn't trick people up with cables and things like that because these cables were stretched to their absolute maximum to make this work. But it worked. It did work. We got there and we were like, stop walking past. Stay there. If you fall over and hurt yourself, we're in big trouble. Like, do not come here as we managed to get... This was towards the end of the day, right? This was towards the end of the day. However, the second... the day after Community Day is Witchwood Day. We're going to the Witchwood. So I like to go a bit earlier to the Witchwood, right? I like to go a bit earlier because the front of the Witchwood has a pool table and a jukebox. And it's really fun. It's really, really fun. And I was like, it got to say, I think it was about 7 p.m. or something like that. And the nightclub area opens at 9. So we were stood talking and I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like going to the Witchwood now and getting some games of pool in and stuff like that. So we can do that and put the jukebox on and stuff like that. So there was a few people. I was like, we can't go with everybody because the front of the building won't house that many people, right? It won't hold that many people. So we're looking around. It's like, I don't know, 20 of us who want to go to the Witchwood right then from our little circle that we were stood in. So I order as a big Uber, which could take 6 people. So I took me, Raven, Anna, Yuri, Benji, and Amy. Now, Benji and Amy don't live... they're from Scotland. Raven lives in Poland. And Anna and Yuri are from France. So this is like their first kind of visit to this Manchester area. Benji's been before, but, you know, either way. I then remember on the way there while we're talking, which we'll leave what we were talking, the subject of the discussion to a different time. But as we arrive, it's like, oh, it is like £3 to go into the nightclub area. So we should pick up some cash. We'll pick up some cash from a cash machine because we're in a town centre. It's not far for a cash machine. So, okay, we're going to do that. Okay. Now, we got to the Witchwood. We got out. The cash machine is 200 meters away. About, right? It's a light walk. It's early evening. It's nice and warm. It's all good. So we go on a little walk, right? I'm pretty sure the gods are playing a trick on me. 50 meters from the bar, a rather large lady collapses on the floor and is rolling around. Right near us. And I don't know what this lady had taken, but she was reasonably incoherent and just saying, oh, well, somebody get me up. Well, somebody... She could not get up under her own power. Let's put it that way. This lady could not get up under her own power. So, me and Anna, I was like, do you want me to help you get up? I'm asking for consent, right? I'm a stranger in the street. I was like, do you need help? She's like, yeah, help me. I was like, all right. So I put my arms behind her, under her arms, and I lift this lady up, get her onto her feet, and she's all over the place, and she's wobbling around. To which the rest of our little party then turns around and starts sort of laughing. And I think, oh, they're laughing because of how drunk she is, whatever. And then we, like, watch her toddle away. As she stays on her feet until she reaches the pub, which is where she was aiming. It's then revealed to me that they all noticed that she shit herself as I was lifting her up. Now, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it, right? But Yuri looks at me and goes, I have a nose for this. She absolutely shit herself. So I, like, obviously had my right arm underneath her, and I was like, I don't smell anything. I'm like, I don't think if she did, it didn't get near me or on me in any way. Yeah, like, me and Anna were closer to her, and we didn't smell it, but, like, they were pretty convinced that they heard it, and she totally shit herself. And I was like, okay. And then I felt bad then representing Manchester. And I was like, I just want to be clear. I've lived here, literally on this road for 7 years, and this has never happened. And I worked in a nightclub. This has never happened. And they're like, okay, sure. So we carry on down to the cash point. We get some cash. Everything's good. We're walking back. I am encountering an issue here. Part of the problem when you lose a lot of weight, and I've lost a lot of weight, is that if you're a cheap ass poor like me, you don't really buy new clothes, because if you get smaller, most of your old bigger shit still fits. Like this shirt. I've had this shirt since like 1996, right? My shorts were not only considerably too big that I was wearing, but my belts no longer fit either. By a long way. By a really long way. And I haven't bought new belts. So when I put them on, as long as I don't put anything in my pockets, it's fine. But because that we're going to need cash, I had brought my wallet. Now, the combination of weight between my house keys to get back in at the night, because I assumed Emma wouldn't bring her house keys. I was preparing for her not to. My wallet and my phone were creating a substantial amount of difficulty. So I'm now walking, holding my pants up. And I was like, I can't do this all night. Like, this is ridiculous. I can't do this all night. Because I know Emma's going to turn up and probably ask me to hold something as well. So she doesn't have... Because she won't bring any pockets, right? Because you know what I'm talking about. She's not going to have pockets. So I was like, this is actually a problem. So what I decided to do is I called Emma. I said, Emma, you need to bring my backpack with me. With you. You need to bring your backpack because I need to take shit out of my pockets and put it in my backpack and then my pants will be fine and it's all good. I underestimated the fact that I was with a Polish man. And the Polish men are always ready for action. Team Poland whips out a device. Raven has this business card type thing made of steel, which has a screwdriver on it, a knife on it, a skewer on it, this whole fucking thing. And he says, hold on, I got this, right? I got this. So in the middle of the street, and Fury had caught up with us at this point, Raven starts fixing my pants. So me and Raven and everybody is stood in the street while Raven is suggestively near my crotch. You can see the business card thing here, pulling my belt and like making a hole in my belt to tighten them up so I could keep my pants on. Not seen in this picture because Amy's head's in the way is the extremely drunk, very old man winding his way towards us. He's about where Amy's face is right now. He is winding his way towards us. This man was very, very, very upset that we were stood in the street. Fucking get out of the way! Fucking stood in the fucking road, man. I'm trying to fucking walk here. You're all fucking stood here like this, fucking in the way. Fucking move! Now... he says this as he walks through because we're not idiots and people step back for him to walk through, right? So he's about here now as he's still telling us to fucking move out of the way. Now, I'm not saying we were being threatening or anything, but everybody here is kind of a big lad. And the girls could look after themselves as well. So we found it kind of funny. So we started laughing. We're like, oh no, he's coming. There you go, mate. You got through. You know what about it? We're kind of laughing. He did not like this. He didn't like this at all, actually. So he turned around and came back. I was like, why are you fucking laughing? You fucking stood here doing all this shit. You fucking... I'm like... This dude was like 65-year-old. He's hammered. I'm like, what the fuck is supposed to come of this, dude? Like, what are you expecting to happen here? You're like, we moved out of the way for you. You got through. And now he's coming back to fucking talk some shit. And I'm like, this is just ridiculous, right? Like, this guy's fucking going off on one, right? Amy diffuses the situation saying, we're just fixing his pants. And then he looks at what's going on. He hadn't even noticed that Raven had hold of my crotch at this point. Because Raven still got hold of my crotch. Because if he would have let go, my pants would have fallen down. So Raven still got hold of my crotch. And then he looks at her and she's going... He's weighing it up. And he's like, so where are you all from? And then he starts asking questions. Like, oh, from France and from Poland. He's like, oh, right. But within about 10 seconds, guy was like best friends with us. He was like, all right, have a good night, everybody. Yeah. Enjoy yourselves. Do you know where you're going and all that? And it's like, oh, yeah. We fucking totally turned around with this crazy aggressive man. And like, you know, he's like, oh, yeah. That sounds pretty good, that. Oh, you come to Ashton. Oh, sweet. Yeah. I'll see you later then. And fucking walks away. I get to like this post because Raven fixed my belt. I was like, I called her. I was like, don't bother with the backpack. Raven's fixed my pants, right? All good. We carried on walking. The pub's down here. And then I just was like, I need to be absolutely clear to everybody. This is not normal. This doesn't happen. I swear to you, I feel like this has been set up by some sort of like trigger happy TV. We've only been walking through this town for 10 minutes. We walked this way, got some cash and walked that way. We've had a lady on the floor fucking shit her pants. And now we're getting attacked by this fucking guy doing all this stuff. I've had to fucking have Raven fixing my belt in the middle of the street. It was just a fucking calamity. It was full shambles. It was full fucking shambles, the whole situation. I really felt like I was being set up by somebody. On Monday, we witnessed 2 fistfights outside the village, just saying, a Lala-sized woman shouting cunt to everybody before she drove off. I don't know. Clowns be clowning. I don't know what to tell you. But then we went on and had a really good night, so it was all good. It is not normal. Bullshit. I lived here for years. That never happened to me a single time. I dealt with a million drunken people in the Witchwood. I never had this kind of shit happen. No way. I didn't. I was like, I genuinely feel like this is a fucking full setup at this point. We are being full scammed. But, I mean, it made quite the sight for a lot of people. That's something you gotta respect, is that it made quite a sight and some stories to tell. I did say, I was like, at least it's content, as I can tell the story of this. And shout-outs to Raven for his mobile tool. The walk was the highlight of my PreachCon. Fucking bizarre. I'm never coming back as Shady. I don't know. I walked here this morning. It was pleasant. It was lovely. I said hello to several people. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. The wedding on Saturday night were more rowdy. They had security, people being carried out and everything. Once again, though, yeah, like John just pointed out, the reason that we do this is everybody was so polite. Interestingly enough, even though a lot of people are drinking, obviously a lot of people don't drink, we did drain the bar once again. Great success, everybody. It was on the second day, but they ran out of beer in the back bar on the second day, and that's when they closed up earlier. So, round of applause. It was achieved. I do blame the several people who just bought jugs of beer and were using them as glasses, which I think hold 4 or 6 pints of lager, and were just walking around with those, distributing them to everybody. So congratulations to that squad. We were drank the bar out of Coke Zero. Yes, I imagine so. Actually, it was more Jack and somebody else who was walking around with all those things. But once again, nobody caused a problem. The feedback we've had from the hotel was like, it was just overwhelmingly easy considering the place was absolutely filled from Sunday till a full week. People arrived on Sunday and a lot of people... I went and said goodbye yesterday morning. There was still... People were leaving, but there was still a good 60 or 70 people hanging around yesterday when I was saying my goodbyes to people. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Saturday when I did that. K-Vod's World versus the Dick Tingler, the great battle of all time. Yes, yes. That will be on our VODs. There's still a lot more to show, but Chris will be working through, like, I think he's got like 10 terabytes of footage from the event. He's got like 10 terabytes of stuff that we did, but the Dick Tingler was stood. I didn't break the picture. I was nothing to do with that. I was absolutely nothing to do with that. I will say the politeness is almost absurd. When we had the party at my house, which again was about 45 people, Emma had put on a load of food inside, but Emma made one critical mistake. She didn't want everybody walking through the front door because the party was in the back garden. So she said, will you tell people not to come through the front door and like walk through the house? Have them come through the back garden gate because that'll lead straight into where everything is, the bars there and things like that. It was raining a lot. People refused to go inside my house. Legitimately refused. Nobody would go inside. They all stayed outside even though it was raining. I was like, you guys can come inside. There's like a couch and a giant living room. There's food and stuff in there. And everyone was like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Emma said, don't go in that front door. We're not going inside there. And they just stood outside all night. It was bothersome. Armst was involved in this process, seemingly. Yes, this is... Yes, I know. I wonder why they ran out of beer. I wonder. The problem is Rainbow Crudy had a croissant from Starbucks. Disgust on their face. Yeah. Nice TV, by the way. Yes, you did see the apparatus that Emma had me build in my bedroom. You now appreciate the horror that I witness every night that Emma approves of. I impressed 45 people by keeping their mouth shut about Roger. Well, it turns out certain people didn't know who Roger Brown was, so that made life much easier. Can't be a secret guest if you don't know who he was. Lucy and I were the only ones. You were given the benefit of going there. We peed at the back of the garden. Everything's okay. Who? Fucking Jack. Yeah, his face. Who the fuck is Roger Brown? I have no idea. Oh, my face hurts just thinking about it. It really does. It really does. But another year closes out. I'm glad people... I mean, I had some of the best compliments from this year of what people thought about the show. It was nice to see the OGs much preferred the show this year. Oh, there's a lot of signing of buttocks going on. Yeah, we'll not look at those pictures. Yeah, let's leave those pictures well enough alone. Yeah, we don't need those. Seems Kratos was having his butt signed. Interesting. Interesting. Classic. Yeah. Oh, the arse signing. Yes, there was some arse signing going on. No testicles this year. I signed a lot of breasts. I signed a lot of body parts, legs, arms, chests. I didn't sign a butts, but apparently some people did sign butts. That apparently did happen. Yeah, 205. What is going on in room 205? Can anybody fill me in on this? What happened in room 205? I don't know what the room 205 mean is. That's where the orgy was. Right. 205 was the orgy. Yeah. If you know, you know. Okay. I mean, that's all I can assume it was at this point. It was the orgy. A lot of filling in was going on in there. You've got to stay out of 205. I stayed at 204 and didn't hear an orgy. You have to be invited to 205. Yeah, I missed out on this meme. Can you sign my toe? I will sign anything you want. I really don't mind. I don't mind whatsoever. Yeah, some of the models were amazing. Look at this one. So good. Chris will be doing some work on that over the next little while. So we'll fill in that. He thinks he wants like a month of messing around with the diorama to have it all finished and good. Yeah. Some of them were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, it was a whole big thing. Of course, everybody else doing stuff and just going out for dinner. I believe like 40 of you went to the cinema at once and took over. Just rocked up 40 strong to watch Deadpool to make that happen. Then they went to Warhammer World. Like, people did all kinds of stuff. I'm really happy that the Americans and stuff made it into, like, a week-long trip. I went to visit, like, York and doing all kinds of visitations all over the place. Yeah, they went to Warhammer World where Fat Kid got absolutely rinsed. Came back with, like, 200 quid's worth of models. They abused him pretty good. Karaoke. A lot of people went to the karaoke doing big stuff and having fun. There were lots of events I wasn't part of, which is why we'll not do it next year. We'll do something smaller so we can spend time together and go and do stuff. Because I know that is generally the biggest feedback I get from people is I didn't get to spend enough time with you, and I feel that as well. I feel that exact thing as well, especially if it gets busy. Like, Community Day was supposed to be the day I could spend time with everybody, but we did too much, and I was all over the place trying to fix it. Oh, what's this? Wait, did someone record an epic pool shot of mine? Oh, yeah, this was a... Look at this setup. Look at this setup. Look at that yellow crowding the black right over the pocket. No, everybody tried to put me off as well. Screaming and shouting. Joe, who was the official corrupt referee, staring at me, doing all kinds of stuff. Gamer. Gamer. Absolute gamer. Nailed it. Easy. Like somebody wrote in the notebook, by the way. Oh, you've got the notebook! Yes. The notebook was a big deal. That notebook was being secreted throughout the event, Chloe. That notebook was being secreted and smuggled all over the place. You're building the models right now? Yeah. So, I haven't heard anybody had a bad time. So, I think everybody had a great time. The most important things I got were from the first timers, I think, and the OGs, who were just like, this is just the best thing ever.
Sunshine sent me a video that's in Discord, by the way.
Sunshine sent me a video that's in Discord. This is my comment. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Kayvon. This is my... Okay, to be clear as to what's happening here, I'm not bullying Kayvon's mother. But one of the games we played in the 5v5 was Quake Arena. And it took no less than one game for people to realize they could make their own in-game names very quickly. Some teams were changing their in-game names mid-game to come up with comedy things. And so, one of the teams made names that were Dick Tingler, Dixie-Normus, Cock Gobbler. And so, we didn't know whose POV we were seeing, right? And so I had to commentate based on that. And then we had 2 teams do that, where people made names like Toblerone, which was nice. Toblerone, very classy. But then people made names that like were Kayvon's mum.
It's hard to me that Team Trolley is changing their names mid-game. As your sis is now, your stepsister just got defeated by the clitoris, and we've all been there.
Stepsister, clitoris, all those were going in.
Have we really? I just assumed we had.
We're not live, are we?
Yes.
No, I'm for doing this.
Just making moves now, but I will. Royce Beans has started to make a lead. We are at the exact midway of this round. It is 4 points to Royce Beans, 2 to Team Trolley. And therefore, your Nan just got wiped out by the clitoris, as did Kayvon's mom. The clitoris is claiming more victims than you'd expect from an incel subreddit.
Just taking names from behind there, honestly.
Yeah, that's not where you're going to find the clitoris. Perhaps that's the issue. Because looking for it from behind is going to cause you issues. Kayvon's mom once again, solid flag carrier. Picks it up, tries to bring down Dixie Norris. Kayvon's mom taking that high BFG spot, just guarding and defending as Team Trolley has managed to get another score on the board. Only 1 point separates both teams. Kayvon's mom defeats the cock gobbler. And again, that's 2 cocks for Kayvon's mom. Good shit.
You know, I've professionally casted now for many, many years, and at no point did I ever expect to say Kayvon's mum has taken 2 cocks, but she did. But she did.
Preparing burgers out of people, fucking old ladies.
She did. It was Quake Arena they were playing. It was Quake Arena. But the look at the end, I mean, I'm just looking at my overlay, and I'm like, Good morning to you, Grandma on Fire. I hope we had a ton of fun. Yeah, we had a ton of fun. But we will have some VODs. I know the 5v5 teams do want to see their VODs. We had all kinds of stuff them play. Surprisingly, the most, I think the game that resonated the most with the teams and the audience was Rocket League. Rocket League was really good. 2v2 Rocket League. We had the teams divide up. They had to choose their champions. So we had some one-on-one games. And then we had 2v2, so we had 2 of them doing co-op Octodad, which was just that poor girl with the chocolate milk. That poor, was it Lucy, was she called in the game? With the chocolate milk. And that poor wife got absolutely hammered and was being beaten to death by that fucking octopus. Stacy, yeah, fucking Stacy was not getting that chocolate milk for love nor money. I was so tilted. I was so tilted. Yeah, Rocket League was a hell of a thing. A hell of a thing. But it's incredible. Everything we've had has been positive and good. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And lots of things to do better next time. I know the request for DDR was through the roof. People really, really wished we brought DDR. Because we had gaming challenges going on throughout Community Day. We had Star Fox, Trials, Wii Bowling. To get a bunch of prizes with like high scores and things like that. We had all day like time trials and things like that going on. We had sim racing going on. But people were like, where's the DDR? Well, I think we would get, if we can do it, we would have like a proper DDR arcade machine. Try and get one of those. I think next time we'll probably have Community Day as being a full arcade. Maybe do it a retro gaming day. Try and get a full like arcade cabinets and stuff in. Because the arcade, we tried to go to the arcade, but it's full of, like, ticket machines and kind of shitty stuff now. So I think a full retro arcade day for Community Day. The painting was super good. The sweets were super good. All that kind of stuff. That piano game, we'll see what we could sort out. We got a couple of years. Yeah, an arcade I think we could sort out very, very well. But other than that, I think I can put this to rest. I will point out, we are holding Strife Hayes' mug hostage. There it is. We are keeping this hostage. This will be taking its place here until the next time Josh graces us with his presence.
Lovely queen.
We have the power.
Missed PreachCon this year. Oh well, next year.
You missed a banger. You missed an absolute banger. You missed an absolute banger. These are the gifts that, So Zeppler brought me gifts for my family. She said she saw these and thought of me. A Houston, Texas fridge magnet with a spaceman on it was what she got for me personally. This was the personal gift from Zeppler to me. It's quite magnificent in its simplicity, I think you'll agree. And it'll go in the fridge. But for my wife, it's a Christmas light ornamented horse saddle. It's very festive. I do not believe it actually lights up, but yeah. Wonderful.
Hey,
I think you'll agree.
Burgers out of people, fucking old ladies.
Thanks for making an orphan feel so welcome. The display looks fantastic. Till next time. Really glad I got to hug you for the first time. Also really glad you weren't in that clown suit when you hugged me, otherwise I'd need therapy.
That's like getting rid of the horses. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, the clown costume I could do without. It's a little revealing. Yeah, I did not need everybody,
Hi Mike, it's
imagine
me,
being on
the
stage
rat.
in the outfit.
I was watching from the corner in the Witchwood seeing you beat a cripple and his mother at pool. I can't believe you did that.
I did do that. To be fair, I was the actual full pool champion. We can all agree. I was the pool. I actually only got beat at pool when Emma. This was a hell of a play by Kayvon, though, as we had duos against Kayvon and his mum. I only got beat at pool when Emma decided to join my team and totally tanked the whole game. She threw everything. I won with Raven. I won with Russ. I was the champion of the pool table. I was winner stays on and dominating until my wife joined in. I played pool every week until PreachCon to get my revenge. You guys took that game so seriously. It was hilarious. You took it so serious
that you were absolutely convinced we'd met before. Well,
yeah.
Maybe next year. Fucking clown, can't even tell the difference between red and yellow balls.
That is true. I did pot the other team's balls because I wasn't paying attention. But we had a few beers by that point. Like, once the beers started to come in. The specific thing I remember is that I'd mooched around when I'd actually gone outside and was mooching around with everybody, I looked in and Zeppler was still sat inside, and all I saw when I looked in was this face. So I took a picture of it. And I called her and I was like, no, she wasn't drunk. She wasn't tired. She was in a serious conversation. She was in a serious conversation. I know. Are you okay? And then she said, no, my friends have come to visit me because I'm in Manchester. So some people have come to visit me, but they're not coming in here. So I'm in here. So it just happened to catch her at a certain bad time. I don't know if I still got it. I probably shouldn't show it because it was relaxed face. It was relaxed Zeppler face, like staring. I was like, oh, okay. No, not a conversation she couldn't get away from. She wanted to talk to these people, but they weren't coming into the back. So she was sat chilling
is
there.
for brilliant.
Hey, Ray, nice, okay. Yeah,
I'm not
very good.
jealous, I swear, copium time.
Well, it's done now. It's done now. It was an insane week, though. It was a lot.
PreachCon
It was a lot.
So much fun.
From concussion.
You're all lovely people. The friendship bracelets were very cute too.
I didn't
Great
even see
idea.
them. And that was Emma's
to your
idea.
lovely queen.
Yeah, that was Emma and the boys' idea. I had nothing to do with
First-time
that.
PreachCon goer here. Thanks for the awesome week, and the FF14 box made it safe home with all the signatures on it. Can't wait for next time. Not heart.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get a video of the thing. Hold on. Yeah, I know you guys want to see it. Hold on. It's not finished, alright? It's not finished.
Hey, if I'm not preparing burgers out of people, fucking old ladies.
Alright.
Rat jam.
We got sound check. Yes. Okay, we've got sound. All right, hold on. Let me turn the camera around. Hold on. There we go. All right. See if you can spot your name. Surprisingly, no one put dicks on it. I'm really happy it ended up dickless. Oh, Jack signed all sides of it, it looks like, just to make sure. There you go. You're all on there, and you'll all be going on the wall. Oh, somebody wants attention. Clearly somebody wants attention to get on there, but that's what will be going on the wall. And this needs some repair now to get it working. And we need to get rid of all the PCs. They're still here with us. And an interview we were shooting. Ooh, who could it be? I wonder. The great
You
mystery.
give me all this shit, yet I've been in the office and signed the plate and took Lilith Gnome with me.
Yes, you did. You have our Lilith display. Oh, the work did not stop. I know everybody was like, oh, you're chilling. You're chilling. They're like, nope, the work did not stop.
Mike, I couldn't make it to the con but want to appreciate the personalized verbal abuse video through my way. Never been shouted at by a clown before. Can cross that off the bucket list.
I did send you an abusive
Nay,
video.
It is for
Yes.
brilliant.
I am surprised how many of the lights are working in all those pictures, given England's descent into a Mad Max dystopia.
Bullshit. Fuck you, Smart. On that note. Okay. Oh, it's our good lady Zoe. What she's sending us. Okay, I don't know when this was supposed to be.
Lovely queen.
Does anybody know? This is like the
One of these
Manchester
years I'll make it
summary
down
or
from
something?
Canada for PreachCon. Glad it was a banger of a time for everyone.
Well, here's the thing, right? Thank you, Wojo. Here's the thing. This was a picture, apparently, that's the summary of Manchester. With crying, sat on the floor, girl with no shoes in the street. Whole thing happened. I am not aware of this picture, right? I am not aware of the meaning of this picture, but the crawlers then recreated it on their trip to Manchester. Did you guys just take over this sign and just, like, block it out completely? Yes, the Renaissance recreation was done while the crawlers were out and about in Manchester to do... I assume this is when you were going for karaoke? Yeah, I don't... Who's this? I see Pixie, I see Pauline, I see everybody else. Who is this? Is that... It's not you, lovely, right? That's Jordan. Oh, it's Jordan. Wait, you took Jordan to karaoke? Oh, Jesus. Did she break the microphones?
So Roger, Alex and Danny all told me separately that I got a lot of shit for not making IIT to PC. Glad you had a good time, wish I could have made it. Race prison sucks.
I did feel really bad, Sam, that, like, me and Roger had such a good time. You were there. We were laughing at you.
To your lovely
It was
queen.
Roger's annual vacation, though. Like, to be fair, it was Roger's vacation, and I will give shout-outs to Roger. He was working a lot of the time he was at PreachCon. Every time we, like, had Roger was not, like, out in public, he was on calls and he was working. So it's not like Roger slacked off. Although I've got to give massive shout-outs to Roger, who realised his flight home to Greece was at 4:30 a.m., in which case he called an audible and just said, well, I'll just stay up all night drinking with everybody because this is really fun, instead of going to bed. So he did. I left him at 3 a.m. and he was still chilling outside with loads of people and Alex, and then I looked inside and Zeppler, Josh, Russ, Lovely, everybody else, Arms was out there. Roger was hardcore skeleton crew. Yeah, well, Zeppler slept till 7 p.m. because she was on US time, and Zeppler became the ultimate night owl. I think Zeppler was out partying with everybody till like 5 a.m. every single night. and then just slept through till like the late evening. That's how Zeppler lived it. She just fucking slept and then she rocked the night away. His lack of sleep made him miss a meeting. It was important. You say that, but oh my god, you did have Jordan at karaoke. I can't play the video. That will be painful. I can't, Jordan. I can't.
B is for brilliant.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Jay. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to play the karaoke videos. Karaoke is... No. Karaoke videos are for the people who were there. If it's me singing, that's fine, but we'll leave it there. Your mum sang at karaoke. That's great. I talked to Roger earlier in the night, asking if he should get some sleep before his trip. He said, I should, but I'm hyped. Roger has been invited to PreachCon since 2016, every single year, and there's always a race, there's always something happening in-game. And obviously the War Within launches in a couple of days. But he said, I haven't had a vacation in a long time, so I'm going to use this as my vacation. But he sent me the nicest message. It was way better than he could have expected. He loved meeting you guys. Every single person I met at your event were the coolest person I could imagine. They were so chill and didn't hassle me, but just wanted to talk and have fun like normal. Massive shout out to you and everybody who goes. I don't know how you manage it. I love everybody I met. It was one of the most incredible things I've ever done. So that was from Roger. That was from Roger. Which is why, again, we keep PreachCon so small. For that exact reason. Didn't need to give, like, you know, guidance or anything like that to people. Roger is a class act. Roger's one of the nicest people I know, and he literally just got to chill and hang, and people were just being cool and just chatting to him and doing everything the same with everybody else. He's lovely. He's one of the loveliest people ever. Yeah, but his stories are interesting. He can talk forever, but his stories are interesting. Mitra's response to PreachCon, yeah, was fantastic. Who's Roger Brown? He's over here in K-Mod's moment. So much fun too. Yeah, it was really good. This is an 8 challenge to stay. Well, next time, Sam. Next time. But the next big PreachCon will be 2026. We will do something next year that is much less of a con and more of a let's see each other and have a good time. You know, like maybe we get like a big Airbnb somewhere or something like that so we can... Some sort of idea like that, I'm thinking. Something along those lines. But it'll be something we talk about in the coming months. Oh, more models? Yes, more models for the model gods. I've put 3 boxes of models in there.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all with you. Yeah. I'm in. Yeah, right. A summer house. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Much less of a big convention with tickets and stage shows and things like that. My goal right now, I want to make sure the word is out there so people can prepare for it, is to prepare something huge for everybody for the 10-year anniversary in 2026. That's my plan. I would like to have a 10-year blowout. I never know when it's going to be the last PreachCon. I never know when this will come to an end and we can't provide these moments for everybody and do all those kind of things. So that is our game plan. 2 years prep, 2 years to chill. We'll be looking to 2026 for the big event. Yes. PreachCon 26 just in time for Midnight's launch. Midnight, FF expansion, all those kind of things. 10 years of dealing with me. I could not be happier, Sarah, as you know. As you know. That'd be large then? No village? Don't know. Honestly, don't know. I've got some ideas of what I'd like to do next time, but I'm giving myself a break. There'll be something me and the team start talking about probably closer to Christmas and start planning it out then and start setting tasks and questions going and all that. Save for toys. Well, I know money is always a big deal. We charge as little as possible because we're aware. Except we had Japan, Russia, Australia, America. It's a huge expense for some people.
Shout out to Chris, our last-minute team replacement and resident alcoholic.
Who never was without a beer in his hand at any point, on stage or otherwise. And had seemingly no clue what was going on. Singapore, yeah, you know, that's what's covered. Some people live nearby, like some people stay at home during PreachCon. And there's other people who are spending thousands to come to PreachCon. But thankfully, everybody I spoke to who did spend thousands said it was absolutely worth it and turned it into like a week-long UK visit and all those kind of things, which I definitely recommend. Ireland, yeah, I think there was over 32 countries at PreachCon. I think there was over 32 countries. Yeah, like, worth it. I mean, to hear that's worth it from the people who did that, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, there was over 30, I think it was 32 countries were at PreachCon. Boxy made a 5-week EU round trip. Yes, he did. Yes. Why not do it digitally? No. Look, the pictures I've shown you are the ones I'm okay with showing you. It's not like this is an orgy or anything, but there is a level of freedom that exists in a non-digitized streamed to strangers world that we can't maintain if it is done that way, genuinely speaking. Like, that's not just from the audience, but it's the content creators as well. Roger can't be as Roger was during PreachCon, or Zeppler, or Russ, or Josh, or me. If there's a camera on you all the time, you can't do it.
Good morning, Mike and chat. I hope everyone had a nice time. I was with you in spirit.
You absolutely were. You absolutely were. It's like, it's more the personal conversations as well. There's a lot of people who get to know each other very, very well. And they maybe talked a lot in the stream. And they'll end up, like, talking about personal stuff, like, and that'll be like dotted around all over the place. Like, a lot of tables outside the venue are filled with people getting to know each other and sharing real life things and things. You don't want to put that on camera. That's not for camera. That's for that's face to face, one to one thing.
Gotta show your paddle video. Peas, I'm still in the airport. Fuck the weather.
I haven't got your paddle video. I don't have it. I don't know where it is either. I would blow a fucking... Your crush on Alex is only intensified? Which Alex? Fat Boss Alex? Chris has it? Uh-oh. I don't appear to have it. Alex Fat Boss? Hell yeah. Yeah, that's not going to work. Trust. That's not going to work. He's super sexy. I agree. I agree. He is. I mean, I fucking Alex with long hair, dope. Cena, thank you so much, Cena. Yes. So I will say people definitely got very close during the Witchwood. Well, there was a lot of people in that room. There was a lot of people in that room. In fact, what was really nice is we do have people coming who have some social anxiety about large crowds. They created a social anxiety reset area at the Witchwood where they were tagging each other in and out. It was amazing. They like came up with it themselves. It was so good.
Apologies again for delaying our 5v5.
Oh yeah, rhymed. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like some people were like dropping out. It's like, okay, it's loud in there. I need a minute. But there was a few people with the same sort of feelings. So they were like, okay, this is my area now. And then they went back in and someone else swapped out. And then like a couple of people went out and just had some time to reset because they didn't want to leave. They were having a really good time. Yeah, like a quiet area. They made their own quiet area. So they could go out and reset and then come back in and enjoy themselves. Yeah, it was fucking amazing. People were all over it because it's not strange at a place like PreachCon. You know, it's not like this is like an embarrassing thing like some people might think. It was like, yeah, loads of people have this situation. And we don't want to go home or back to the hotel, but I just need a minute to reset myself and then come back in and just take myself away. Because obviously it's a lot of people. It's very crowded, right? This is just the crawler one. I haven't got the Witchwood picture here. Yeah, exactly. Crying is PreachCon is almost required. Emma opened the show crying, right? Emma literally opened the show in tears. So yeah, that is. What about Room 205? I feel like this is going to be a never-ending meme about what happened in Room 205, and I have no idea what the hell Room 205 was. Thankfully, we'll just call it where the orgy happened, because that's all I know. I don't know. I do know that 407 was the beer smuggling operation. That's what I know. I know that's the German beer underground. That's what I know. The German beer underground happened from 407. That was where that was going from. Or 40 something. Whatever room was next to Zeppler's. For sure. Whichever room that was. Yeah, that's what happened. The orgy is canon law now. 417 was Disney late night watch parties. Is that where you guys were doing, like, all the girls... This sounds wrong, but... where the girls were doing facials and stuff? Because I saw some pictures, which I can't show on stream, of all the girls together doing, like, face masks and shit and watching Disney. Like, they created, like, some... No, that was 415. Yes, and the guys were in there as well. Oh, I see. That's not the pictures I saw. I just saw some very bizarre pictures of people with face masks. Oh, I meant 415. I didn't get invited. I don't know what goes on in the hotel rooms there. I have no idea. I have no idea. And I was 2 doors down. It was 412. There you go. I went in through
B
karaoke.
is for brilliant.
Excuse me, facials?
Were you not invited either, Armst? Apparently, I'm not welcome to Disney Facial Night. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not welcome to Disney Facial Night, you know? Yeah. For some reason, Armst, we're not on that list. We're not on that list of Disney Facial Night. Yeah, shame, really. I could understand it, to be honest. I don't think I'd fit. No, I actually fully agree that that is probably not for... that's not probably for me. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. That's a rather... You gotta respect my wife for finishing that bad boy off. She did very, very well. She did very, very well. She did good to do that. Only things missing for PreachCon and Molko. Molko's cabbage. He wouldn't come. Okay, that's not bulge. That's camel toe. Look, I didn't choose this outfit. My team did, alright? Okay? I could have done without everybody seeing the outline of the peni, but here we are. Here we are. That was... I had to come out in that costume. So you can all laugh, but you didn't have to stand on fucking stage with that thing on. Alright? Yeah, you didn't have to stare down Josh Strife Hayes with a fucking literal fucking entire half of your pants crowding the plate.
Submit to your lovely queen.
Alright? Like, think how I felt.
Be there next time, sir.
Everybody says that, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see how 2026 goes and see if I can hold your interest for the next couple of years. I will do my best. I will do my best to do that. That'll make life come true. It's a little tight around the cheeks as well. Got quite the cleft going. Right, we've got the camel tail. Doctor's orders. I was going to say, staring down with a semi. Not quite. Not quite. You DM'd a facial night pic. Oh, we got DMs of facials. Classy. Not at all terrifying. That's not at all horrific, right? Yeah, this is not nightmare fuel. Under any circumstances. I'm somewhat glad how busy I am at PreachCon that I seemingly miss out on these room excursions that's happening. And I'm pretty sure the hotel staff just give up on trying to monitor who's staying where. Like, I know George stayed on various people's... Did he stay on yours, Sarah? That's what you could have joined in. I'm jealous. I don't know. George brought an inflatable bed and just slept on various floors, I think. You're sad you missed the facials. It's all going on. He lost your key. He did lose your key and got locked out. Yeah. All of I moved to the Disney room. Oh, Flapton, Flapton. Well, she became the fish Flapton. That's what I know of. All right, let's